Welcome to Spiritual Calisthenics. Christos anesti, Christ is risen. And the 11th, to commemorate the Renewal of Constantinople, the Holy Hieromartyr Mocius, St. Methodius and St. Cyril, equal to the Apostles, Illuminators of the Slavs, St. Theopemptos, the martyr and his companions, St. Theoscus, the new martyr, and St. Aegidius, the new martyr of Epanomi. Regarding St. Mocius the martyr, the Holy Hieromartyr Mocius, who was of Roman parents, lived during the reign of Diocletian, who was a priest in Amphipolis of Thrace. One day, as the idolaters were assembled, and the proconsul Laodicius was offering sacrifice to Dionysius, Mocius entered the temple and overturned the altar. After many torments, through which he was preserved whole by grace divine, he was sent to Byzantium, where he was beheaded about the year 288. St. Constantine the Great built a magnificent church in honor of St. Mocius in Constantinople, where his holy relics were enshrined. He is one of the holy unmercenaries. In serving Christ our King as a priest of his holy mysteries, thou went forth, self-called unto contest, O Mocius, to offer thyself to him through the pains of a willing death. Wherefore, crowned by Christ both as a priest and a martyr, thou dost heal the ills of all who fervently honor thy holy memorial. Regarding Saints Methodius and Cyril, equal to the Apostles and Illuminators of the Slavs, born in Thessalonica, St. Methodius was a military man before becoming a monk on Mount Olympus. His brother Constantine, known as the philosopher because of his education, was librarian of the Church of the Holy Wisdom in Constantinople, that is, Hagia Sophia. He later became a monk with the name of Cyril. The Emperor Michael sent him with his brother Methodius to the Khazars in response to their petition for teachers to expound to them the Christian faith. On their way, they stayed in Cherson, where they recovered from the Black Sea the relics of St. Clement of Rome. Later, they were called by Prince Rostolov of Moravia to instruct his people in the Orthodox faith. The saints devised an alphabet for the Slavs and used it to translate the Greek books into the language of the people. In their apostolic labors, throughout the Balkans, the Holy Brothers were slandered by certain Germanic bishops who opposed the use of the vernacular in the church services. It sounds very familiar to us, doesn't it? Summoned to the court at Rome in 867, they presented their Slavonic translations to Pope Adrian II, who received them with love and full approval. 2 years later, St. Cyril reposed in Rome on February 14th, and was buried in the Church of St. Clement. St. Methodius was made Bishop of Moravia, but at the intrigues of certain Latin clergy, was cast into prison by the Holy Roman Emperor, the Germanic Emperor of the West, where he was cruelly tormented for some 3 years. In 874, through the defense of Pope John VIII, he was freed and made Archbishop of Moravia. Because he reproved the lax morals of the German priests in Moravia, he was soon accused of heresy by them and was forbidden to celebrate the liturgy in Slavonic. Summoned to Rome again in 879, he was completely exonerated and allowed once again to use the Slavonic tongue for the divine services. He reposed on April 6, 885. Since ye were equal in character to the apostles and teachers of the Slavic lands, O divinely wise Cyril and Methodius prayed to the Lord of all to strengthen all nations in orthodoxy and unite in unity of thought to convert and reconcile the word of God to save our souls. Acts of the Apostles. In those days, Peter went to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose other name was Mark, where many were gathered together and were praying. Now this Mark is the same Mark who wrote the Gospel according to St. Mark, which is why many attribute that Gospel to St. Peter. And when he knocked at the door of the gateway, the maid named Rhoda came to answer. Recognizing Peter's voice, in her joy she did not open the gate, but ran and told that Peter was standing at the gate. He said to her, "You are mad," because remember, he was arrested. But she insisted that it was so. They said, "It is his angel." Now, this is, of course, not just because of their inability to recognize what is happening, but also shows us that our guardian angel resembles us. Such is the tight relationship between a person and his or her guardian angel, that they resemble us. But Peter continued knocking, and when they opened, they saw him and were amazed. But motioning to them with his hand to be silent, he described to them how the Lord had brought him out of the prison. And he said, "Tell this to James and to the brethren." James meaning the Patriarch of Jerusalem, the Lord's half-brother, Jacobus. Then he departed and went to another place. The Gospel according to St. John. The Lord said to the Jews who came to him, "If God were your Father, you would love me, for I proceeded and came forth from God. I came not of my own accord, but he sent me. Why do you not understand what I say? It is because you cannot bear to hear my word. You are of your father, the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning and has nothing to do with the truth, because there is no truth in him." This is drawing parallels from the very first chapter, in which we see the light being directly confronted by the darkness, and the darkness is not able to either comprehend or conquer the light, depending on which translation you use. When he lies, he speaks according to his own nature, for he is a liar and the father of lies. But because I tell the truth, you do not believe me. Which of you convicts me of a sin? If I tell the truth, why do you not believe me? He who is of God hears the words of God. The reason why you do not hear them is that you are not of God. Jews answered him, "Are we not right in saying that you are a Samaritan and have a demon?" Remember from yesterday that the Samaritan woman, who represents the people of Samaria, they worship other gods, and so it is very possible that they could be demon-possessed. Jesus answered, "I have not a demon, but I honor my Father, and you dishonor me. Yet I do not seek my own glory. There is one who seeks it, and he will be the judge. Truly, truly, I say to you, if anyone keeps my word, he will never see death." Of course, the death he speaks of is the death of the soul, that we will live forever with him, and in the resurrection, so too will our bodies. I hope that you've enjoyed today's Spiritual Calisthenics. Have a blessed and wonderful day.